Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Thank you so much for choosing UBC TV as your #1 choice. Welcome to the Extra. But just to remind you that we are always here from 6:30. So why not start your day with us? Because we have the vibe for you, and above all, we have all the information that you need to know both locally and internationally. So you wake up, you start your day with a 360 coverage of the entire globe, because you made the best choice to begin it with us on UBC TV. The Fantastic Four, that's what we do best. Now, with the extension of Good Morning Uganda being the Extra, this morning I want to discuss something very important. We've all grown up hearing the saying, water is life. Now, of course, there is a joke that depending on where you stay, it may not be life, but at the end of the day, still our bodies will need water. It is something that we can't do without. Now, I have people concerned in that direction, but what we are going to be discussing this morning is the Uganda Water and Environment Week 2025. And on set, I am humbled to have Dr. Alfred Okwidi, who is the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Water and Environment. You're most welcome, Doctor.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
At the extreme end, I have not very new, at least we've had him on various issues regarding water. One, we're looking at these wells, you people, you're digging in compounds. The other time we had the COP. So all the time there's something that brings this gentleman with us on set to discuss issues of national concern, and that is Dr. Kalistindi Mugaya, the Acting Director, Water Resource Management and Commissioner, Water Resource Planning and Regulation at the Ministry of Water and Environment. Doctor, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers.
Now, to begin with, I'll go direct to the Permanent Secretary. First and foremost, for our viewer, what is the mandate of your ministry?
The mandate of the ministry is to ensure that the country has adequate water in terms of quantity and quality for all the people now and for the future. But we are also entrusted with ensuring that the environment, the ecosystem we live within is carefully managed sustainably and for now and for future generations. But we also oversee and coordinate climate change as a function as far as Uganda is concerned. So that broadly is our mandate.
Now that well explained, I'll move quickly to Doctor. Doctor, when we talk about the Uganda Water and Environment Week 2025, please kindly give us a background to this.
Thank you very much, Moderator. Uganda Water and Environment Week actually started in 2018. So we have run it for 7 years now, and this year is the 8th. We did realize as a sector that we have not been having opportunities to interface, collaborate, and network with those outside, for example, the Ministry of Water and Environment. So we realized that we needed to create an opportunity for people to talk with each other, to learn from each other, to exchange ideas, and also agree to take corrective action to enable us to achieve our objectives as a sector. So we realized that if we don't deliberately create a mechanism, then it will be very difficult for us to work with each other. So Uganda Water and Environment Week basically is an opportunity for us to talk with those we don't normally talk with, collaborate with those we don't normally collaborate with, discuss new ideas and innovations, and see how we can work together to improve the way we deliver services. And we believe that by partnering with others, we create opportunities for mobilizing resources in terms of money, in terms of capacities, and we achieve more because we are stronger together. That's basically the rationale for organizing the Uganda Water and Environment Week.
Now, this takes me to Dr. Alfred. How do you do this, the methodology?
The Water and Environment Week is actually the climax of the activities we do as a ministry. It is actually one of the programs that we have, as Dr. Kalis has mentioned. And we make sure that we bring all the sector players to get involved. We have the academia that are also involved. We have the private sector players. We have the civil society organizations. And we have the youth who come together through a series of events throughout the year. And we want deliberately to focus on practical solutions for the country. So we therefore constitute ourselves and we get the participants to determine and give us the areas that we should focus on. And based on that, then we come up with themes and we get abstracts, and based on the abstracts, presentations are going to be made and resolutions and other takings will be crafted. That will guide us for the next year until when we meet again to look at how far we have gone and what we need to do or what new emerging trends is happening. So it is a very participatory approach that involves everybody in the sector. And this is anchored in the Water and Resources Directorate and the Water Resources Institute that really champion the drive towards Uganda Water and Environment Week. Yeah.
Dr. Kalis, now how is this important to the direction of the sustainable development goals, and what should we expect?
Thank you very much. Of course, for the benefit of the viewers who may not know, we have 17 sustainable development goals, but we have one goal on water, goal number 6, where we're ensuring availability of water and sanitation services for all. But of course, we have goal 13 on climate action. Then we have a goal on ecosystem conservation. So this event is enabling us to get people to realize that you cannot, for example, address climate change issues without talking to other stakeholders. We also are realizing that water touches every aspect of life. If, for example, you want to improve food production, you need water. If you want to improve health, most of the disease burden is actually related to water. If we are talking about energy, most of our energy is actually hydropower, so we need water. So the Water and Environment Week is actually helping us tell people that you can't be in your box, say, as a Minister of Water and Environment, and you think you are going to address these challenges. Right now, for example, we work with other agencies, as my permanent secretary has indicated. The private sector, most of the activities in the private sector depend on water, either as a primary input or a secondary input. So we want them to contribute to make sure that water is available now and in the future. Again, right now the country is talking about irrigation. Irrigation is about bringing water to crops. So if we don't talk with the Minister of Agriculture and ensure that water is available, it becomes very difficult. If we talk about industries, industries depend on water. For example, we are talking about beer, 95% of beer is water. 96% of soda is water. So again, we want to make sure that people talk with each other and know that we cannot achieve sustainable development goals without talking with each other. And sustainable development goals actually, they have an objective of leaving no one behind. So we want to move with everybody to achieve the SDGs.
Now, you've talked about moving with everybody. This brings me to ask the PS. When you talk about water and our environment, first, what is the status of our water and also of our water resources? How are we doing?
Thank you. The water resources of the country, on the surface, it looks everybody that we have a lot of water. But in reality, we have a challenge. Because, again, of factors that are within our control and also outside our control to some extent. Water as a resource blends with the ecosystem. The forests, the mountains, the swamps, these are towers that feed into the water cycle. But also we have the looming danger or risk, if I may use that word, which is climate change, which is grossly affecting the availability of water. Now, on the side of the nature, that is environment, the forests, the swamps, etc. that we have. Because of human activities, we have actually caused a lot of degradation. And this degradation has resulted into a lot of water that should have been retained within our catchments being drained off very quickly, taking with it the topsoil, but also creating pollution. So the underground water is supposed to benefit from the rain when it rains, but the rain now moves off very quickly. So human activities is affecting the underground water, it is affecting the water quality, and it is also affecting the water quantity because it's also causing siltation. And that can create floods, etc. When we look at climate change, we see the variability that is being experienced. In this country specifically, we are quite exposed to climate variability. Rainfall is no longer reliable in terms of determining when it is supposed to come as it used to be and when it's supposed to end. Also, the quantity tends to be erratic. It can come short bursts, too much, or it comes in forms of hailstorms, which cause all kinds of damage to property, crops, etc. So the water resources of this country is under a lot of pressure. And that is the reason why we come together during an event like this, like the Uganda Water and Environment Week, so that we sit and see how best we can address some of these challenges, some of these risks, and also engage with partners who can help us solve some of these problems.
Now, very interesting how we can solve some of these problems. This takes me to Dr. Calist. When you talk about we are going in for the 8th, but let's go back to one of the major events that occurred during the first Water and Environment Week 2018, where we launched the Water Resource Institute. Now, one would love to know what has been the progress so far.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed, the Water Resources Institute was launched in 2018. Basically, it focuses on things that we don't normally do within our circles in the government. We realized that when students are leaving, say, academic institution, whether it is university or college, they come when they are very theoretical. And to get them to work, you spend not less than 1 year. So we decided the Water Resources Institute will provide opportunities to bring the academic institutions to interface with the practitioners, so that by the time the students leave academic institutions, then they have some practical skills. And we do this through attachment. As a ministry, we have been doing, having attachment programs, but the numbers we have been taking on have not been many. But we decided that through the Water Resources Institute, we create opportunities for attachment, and we get students and we attach them to various organizations. Right now, as I speak, we'll be attaching over 100 students in various organizations, and they will be there for 1 year. They get practical skills, and some of them might be employed by those organizations. So the Water Resources Institute aimed at bridging the gap between theory and practice through applied trainings. We are conducting short trainings, even when you have left, for example, school. You would want to have a place where you can go and learn new things. For example, climate change is new, sustainable development goals are new. We are talking about irrigation, it is new in Uganda. We are talking about solar pumping. We are talking about restoration of ecosystem. Many of these are new, and we wanted to have a place where people can go and undertake those short trainings. As I speak, we have conducted over 80 short courses involving over 3,200 people. Short courses. A maximum 5 days in different areas. And we are bringing people from within the ministry, we are partner organizations, NGOs, private sector, and also local governments. Then we have also decided that we need to do research. Normally, people do research when they want to get academic qualifications, and when they finish, the research reports what is gathered dust. So we want, at the Institute, we are now turning research results into practical solutions. Again, we are working with the academia so that somebody who is, for example, doing a master's or PhD, you will get your qualification, but we want Ugandans benefit from your research. So we are turning theory into practice through research, and we'll be establishing a research grant where we give a grant to those who are doing research so that they can help us to address these issues. The other issue is outreach. That many times we do things, but they don't reach the people. So again, within the Institute, we are promoting outreach, where we're involving different stakeholders. We have programs for the youth, we have programs for the media. We've been training the media so that they can get the information and be able to report. We are having a program for people who have retired. We realize in Uganda, when you reach retirement age, then they say goodbye to you with a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. So we created a program called Retired Professionals in Water and Environment. Right now we started with 50 people whom we call on to support the sector. We have contracts with them, framework contracts, and we involve them. Right now we are going to add on another 60. So we'll be having over 100 people who have retired in different areas. Among those we have, I think, about 8 professors. We have 2 former ministers, and for water and environment, everybody, every profession is a stakeholder. Then we have been having also a mentorship program, mentoring ladies. We have mentored over 150 ladies so that they can grow in their career and be able to compete with men favorably. We have also created a parallel one for men. We have also been having outreach events where monthly we organize what we call monthly webinars for the water and environment, where we get people to talk online from anywhere, and people listen in and ask questions. So, and of course, the Uganda Water and Environment Week is a flagship program of the Water Resources Institute, where we really reach out to the stakeholders, we bring on board, and every year we bring in new people, we bring in new ideas, and we run and share as we move the sector forward.
Well, thank you, Dr. Akalis. Now I'll be going for a very short break. When I return, we'll still be discussing more regarding the Water and Environment Week 2025. We shall look at the events that have been lined up, and of course the PS will take us through those, but shortly after we return. Let's go for a break.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
International Women's Day is celebrated annually on 8th March. It is a time to reflect on progress made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination play by women. On Saturday, 8th March, Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate International Women's Day. The national celebrations will be held in Changwanzi district under the theme Accelerate Action for Gender Equality. The President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will be the chief guest. Join us for the live broadcast to witness outstanding women receive medals in recognition of their achievements and contributions to the country. Happy Women's Day.
Looking for instant excitement? The Uganda National Lottery Spin for Cash game is now available online. Wherever you are, you can join the excitement for just 500, 1,000 and 2,000 Uganda shillings. Don't miss out. Register now on www.nationallottery.go.ug for a chance to win your share of 2 billion instantly. What are you waiting for? Play Spin for Cash now, anytime, anywhere. Ituba is the proud operator of the Uganda National Lottery.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotellaconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
You're still watching UBC TV and here's the Extra. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono, and with me I have the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Water and Environment, and the Commissioner in charge of water resources and management in this country. Now, a very quick one, Mr. Permanent Secretary. This draws my concern, much as we are talking about celebrating the Water and Environment Week. You earlier talked about our resources as they're doing, but what is the water coverage so far? The national water coverage, how are we doing in terms of people who are having what I would call modern, you know, my grandmother calls them modern water? Yes.
Thank you. Water coverage, we break it into two components, the rural and the urban. For the urban areas, we are now standing at 73%, while for rural area, we are at 68%. 68%.
That is commendable.
Yes.
Commendable. You know, Excellency usually relates to 1986, but now if we've moved to 70% urban centers water coverage, whereby then you weren't even at 40%. I think that has been...
But when we look at water for production, which is really our focus now, we are not doing very well. As a country, we are below 2% of the land mass that we can irrigate. At the moment, we are not doing more than 2%. And our target is to push this by 2030 to at least 50% of that to be under irrigation, to ensure that we have food security and we have the transformation of agriculture from peasant to commercial.
That will be very interesting. So that type will move away from rainfall-fed agriculture.
Yes.
Now we are coming to March. Many farmers usually plant the March season, but we've not seen signs of rainfall yet. If we had that at least up to 50%, that would mean we have farmers who grow in and out of season. You just plant because you know you will irrigate. Now, Dr. Hakalis, let's go back to the Water and Environment Week. Please take us through any event that is going to mark this. What is the program like?
Thank you very much. When we talk about the Uganda Water and Environment Week, it's actually more than a week. So Uganda Water and Environment Week, that week is celebrated at a national level, and for this year it's going to be celebrated from 17th of March, 21st of March. Before that, we have a number of activities in our regional offices. The ministry has six regional offices. We have an office in Moroto, Karamoja, taking charge of the Karamoja region. We have an office in Irira. We have an office in Mbale. We have an office in Mbarara, an office in Fort Portal, and an office in Wakiso. And these are offices which help us to reach the people on the ground. If you go to each of the offices, you will find there are not less than 150 staff. So actually when you go there, you might think the Ministry of Water and Environment has relocated those areas. And those are the people who are delivering services, the people they are bringing on board the stakeholders, so that we can work as one and deliver the services to the common person. So we'll be having celebrations in each of those regional offices. Each regional office is given a sub-theme, and they decide what they want to do. For example, some of them are involved in football matches, others are involved in debates, others are involved in cleanup exercises. There will be many radio talk shows and TV talk shows. So they are actually starting in the first week of March. And for about 2 weeks, they will be having activities all over the country. And those activities now will be reported on during the main week. So we have reserved half a day where we'll get the stakeholders at the national level to hear what has come from the region. What are the people, for example, in Karamoja saying? What are the challenges they are faced with and what they want us to address? So those regional activities are key, because we don't just want to celebrate at the national level only, we want to celebrate all over the country. But we also have a flagship program, the Walk for Water, Environment and Climate Change, where we have people walking. This time around, they are going to walk for 317 kilometers. Last year, they walked for close 600 kilometers, and this time they are going to start from Bulisa. Again, issues of water and environment as far as oil is concerned are key. So again, we want to engage people and say, how do we ensure that as we produce oil and gas, we don't affect the environment, don't pollute the water? They will walk for about 12 days and reach Kampala on 14. They start on 3rd and reach Kampala on 3rd. So we have a number of activities for the Uganda Water and Environment Week. So starting with those at the regional level and culminating into those at the national level.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, but within there also we have 3 international days that we'll be celebrating. The first one is going to be the Forest Day, which is going to be on 21st. Then you have the World Water Day, which is going to be on 22nd. And then the World Meteorological Day, which is actually on 23rd. So this, as I mentioned, is the apex, is the climax of those days. I think the youth program too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, to maybe highlight what will happen during the week, we shall have an opening ceremony on 17th of March. And our guest of honor is going to be the Deputy Speaker of Parliament.
Okay.
Then we have a number of keynote presentations. We always involve people from all over the world. And we have the Uganda Water and Environment Week is held virtually and physically. So even when somebody is not able to participate physically, they can participate through Zoom. So we'll be having a keynote. We normally have an overall keynote speaker. We will be having somebody, the head of Division for Water and Agriculture, the African Union, will be our overall keynote speaker. And then after that, we have a number of people that are engaged in panel discussions. Our overall theme for the Uganda Water and Environment Week is Water and Environment Resources for Enhanced Resilience and improved incomes and livelihoods. We want to see how is water actually contributing to helping the country, water and environment resources, helping the country to address climate change. And how are they helping the country to improve incomes of the people and their livelihoods? So that's going to be our overall theme. And under that overall theme, we'll have a sub-theme. One of them is how water and environment are contributing to peace and stability. Another on how water and environment are contributing to climate action. Another on how they are contributing to job creation, incomes. Another on how we can actually improve innovations, build capacity so that we can do better. So we have one overall theme and then 4 sub-themes. And under each of the sub-themes, we'll be having a keynote speaker and a number of panelists. And we are drawing people from all over, academia, private sector, civil society, religious institution, cultural institution, the media, everybody. So we want to hear from the various stakeholders. And within the week, we have also a youth program. We will be having youth debates. The youth in the region, at the regional level, are going to be engaged in debates. And then they will come and compete at the national level. So having youth from primary school, secondary school, and university, all competing in debates. And they will come at the national level. We also have a career talk, where we want to take people through the career, and of course we have a number of side events and trainings and feeds. So it's a packed program, and everybody has an opportunity, but we're also having exhibitions. And the event is going to take place at the Ministry of Water and Environment headquarters in Ruzira, where everybody will be welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Please, now let me just come back to the Permanent Secretary here. What do you intend to achieve out of all this? Because usually we come up with we can have this. This is not a first, this is going to be the 9th. But what are we intending to achieve after all this is done?
Thank you. Our focus, as Dr. Kalis has mentioned, is going to be on enhancing resilience and improve livelihood. Because water and environment, water is a catalyst. Catalyst that actually is necessary for transforming virtually all the sectors in this country. And within the environment resources we have in this country, we have opportunities that we want to see how we can use them sustainably to increase the livelihoods, but most importantly, to generate employment. So we are going to come up within the 4 themes that we have created with practical, the word is practical undertakings that is going to help us actually achieve this overall goal. So we are looking at, yes, the resilience, not of only the ecosystem, but our people first. Our people first. And then how we can, in a very planned way, start and improve their livelihood while creating jobs. And these 4 thematic areas that we have talked about captures actually this thing, because these resources have to be used equitably, it has to be shared. It has to add value. We have to sustain it. And we also want to bring on board, especially the youth, around the field of innovation, building their capacity, and making sure that they own up that space, because they are the next, and that is what we're going. So there are quite a number of objectives that we have in there, which we believe we should be able to attain.
Well, it is the Uganda Water and Environment Week that will be kicking off now at the Ministry of Water and Environment. That is in Luzira. And Port Bell.
Port Bell, yes.
Port Bell, Luzira. Now, the general public is welcome. Go and find what you need to know actually regarding water and, of course, our environment. Now, Doctor, yes, I saw time seems to be flying, but what is important here, I know one would love to understand. You talked about various discussions, the debates that are going to be happening, but when we look at one of the challenges is people, for those that buy this water, as this also moves in, because now we know so much is going to be discussed. Cost of water. I briefly even had a message here. I want you to leave without talking about it. Cost of water in Uganda. Water is life. We still have many Ugandans who feel, why would I pay for a God-given good? You know, water is given by God. Why should I pay for this water for sure? Can't that also be a service as a Ugandan I get for free? As if there's a country where you get it for free, charge, but that is up to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, indeed, water is God-given, but to get it available for use, it has to be treated. So actually, people are not paying for water, they are paying for the service to bring the water to you. For example, right now, if I can give an example of National Water is getting water from Katosi and also from Mugaba. So to pump water from Katosi, first of all, you have to treat it. Then after treating it, you have to deliver. So what people are paying for is actually the cost of delivering the water, not paying for it. If you would pay for the water, the cost would be very high. But also to note that the reason why the cost of treating the water is very high is because the water is polluted. Actually, most of the cost that national water incurs is to treat the water, because when the water is highly polluted, then you need a lot of chemicals. Yep. So if we can now protect the environment, as we say, restore the wetlands, restore the river banks, then the cost of water will certainly go down. And that's what we are doing. Right now, having programs where we want to restore water catchments, restore the wetlands. So people should know that if we continue degrading the wetlands, then the cost of water will continue going up because the treatment cost will be higher. But if we can restore the wetlands, then the cost will go down.
Yeah. Now, Doctor, okay, when we look at protecting these resources, recently there is something that is happening, and this is another issue, these are viewers' concerns, that this issue of digging, I don't know the term you may call them, but they are called it home wells, where someone digs deep in the ground and they will tell you, for me issues to do with the water, by National Water and Storage Corporation. I now have my corporation here at home. I have the pump, I pump my water, I use my water. That this also should be regulated, sir, by the ministry. How true is this?
Yes, water as a resource is a regulated resource. And the purpose why we do the regulation is to ensure that the correct amount is used without affecting other uses for water. The water we use is not only for drinking. The animals need them, the trees need them, the ecosystem need them. We need them for transport, we need them for energy generation. So all these are competing needs and uses for water. So it has to be regulated. We have what we call self-supply, but it is also regulated. And the reason why we want to regulate self-supply is because as you dig that well, we want you to get water which is of the correct quality. Especially in the urban settings, because of the settlement patterns and because of also the waste disposal practices. Some of what you see as clean water is actually not clean. So the purpose for regulation is to make sure that you do not harm yourself and harm your family and the neighborhoods, because waterborne diseases are quite costly.
People believe water coming from underground is clean.
No, it is not. It is not given that it is always clean, especially if you have in urban areas. You see, where are we disposing our waste? We have pit latrines, we have septic tanks. Some of them, the quality may not be okay. We have actually activities in the gardens. People are using chemicals, they are using pesticides. All these can find their way into the underground water. That is the reason why we want to make sure that the water that you are using in your home is fit for purpose and does not become a source of disease. Yeah.
Well, that is now clear. Please, let's stop sending in messages. Yes, but of course, when someone insists, please ask Robert. I have asked at least for those two questions, the cost of water, why do you have to pay for water? And I think Doctor has answered that very well. Then also the home dug wells, it has also been explained. This is for your own good, why government or the ministry comes in and says they have to regulate and please follow procedures for you to know, so that you don't have people knock at your gate and then you've committed an offense of something you think you've just used your money right to save money as well. Now, time seems to be flying, but before still I let you go, Dr. Calist, very important to note, what are some of those challenges that Ugandans should be prepared for in the near future if we continue misusing our water and our environment?
Thank you very much. One thing, of course, we need to note is that our population is growing at a very, very high rate, about 3.3% per year. But these resources are not increasing. If anything, they are reducing. So one of the challenges we anticipate is competition over limited resources, water resources, and also environment resources. If we continue business as usual, then it's going to be a problem meeting all the demands, because the resource is not increasing. And of course, when we talk about demand, we are talking about demand for drinking. We are talking about water needed for irrigation. So if you need water for irrigation, then, and it is provided, then it will affect the water available for hydropower, water available for industry, water available for other uses. So we expect competition, but of course also the pollution increasing. Right now, having a lot of waste being dumped carelessly. And all of this, as my PS has mentioned, is all going into our water bodies. This water we have underground is actually shallow groundwater. It is the level where the pit latrines are. So when you are talking about that water, and you are dumping your waste, you're actually polluting the same water you are using. You look at it and think it is clean, but it's actually polluted water. And right now we are likely to see increased incidences of waterborne or water-related diseases. And of course, right now, the issue of climate change. Climate change is real. You can see the temperatures really we are having this month higher than usual. And the situation is going to get worse. As climate change impacts us, then we are going to have too much water coming within a very short period, causing a lot of damage. Then certain periods, too little water, and we don't have enough. And of course, landslides will increase and also pollution. So all is not lost. We need to take action if we want to address these challenges. And
in the same spirit, your parting shot.
Yes, my parting shot, indeed, I want to call upon Ugandans to remember that water and environment resources are key to our survival. It is us as individuals who have to look after these resources so that they are available now and in the future. And we need to come forward and work with government, work with the civil society, work with the private sector, cultural institutions, religious institutions to make a change. And that's why the Uganda Water and Environment Week is key. There is a lot of running. We have a number of exhibitions. We'll be having over 30 people exhibiting different technologies for irrigation, for pumping, for creating jobs, and it is free. People are free to come to the Ministry of Water and Environment and participate and learn and be able to apply. We welcome them, and we also want to call upon all of those that have not been part of this event to come forward and join us and see how we can save this country from the impending challenges. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Kalistindi Mugaya, who is the Acting Director, Water Resource Management and Commissioner, Water Resource Planning and Regulation at the Ministry of Water and Environment. Thank you so much. Now, finally, PS.
Dear viewers and countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the 8th Uganda Water and Environment Week. The climax is going to be from the 17th to 21st, the Ministry of Water and Environment, Port Bell, Kabaleka Crescent. You're all welcome to participate physically and also online. But also remember, a week or so before that, we are going to have activities in our regional offices, and I urge all of us to participate. But let us not participate in water and environment resources management as an event. Let it be a year-long process, because these are resources that we need for our survival, and it is our responsibility to conserve them now so that future generations can also enjoy them. And I would like to appeal to all the users of these resources, always consult our offices at the head office of the regional so that you are guided how to best utilize these resources. Thank you. See you at the 8th Uganda Water and Environment Week.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Alfred Okidi, who is the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Water and Environment. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you,
and above all, my viewer, thank you so much for being with us. Now, the Uganda Water and Environment Week is here. Let's participate. I must apologize for those that have been sending so many questions. But of course, we had a topic that we had to go through with. Maybe next time I'll have the PS, because many questions were coming to you, sir.
Okay.
So I hope you find some time and
anytime.
Anytime, and have also a manager, because issues of connections, water, not reaching. There's so much here. But I know you will have some time and be able to answer a number of these. Have the best of your day. May God bless you. Remember, Mpox is around. So please avoid as much as you can anything that can lead you to contracting Mpox. The SOPs are still fresh in our memories. Let's do that. God bless you. Thank you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by Now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Coming soon on UBC.
Me, Gashumba, you call me Endiga. Me. In all animals, you call Gashumba Endiga. Right on Peter and Pologoma. Obey leopard. Me.
Me. It's a privilege to serve the nation and the generation and the church. To serve the church with lyrics, with things that can teach the church.
Philippians 1:6, being confident of this, that he will become the good work in you that bring it to completion in Christ Jesus. Meaning that everything that we're doing is because God has begun a work in us. Even you, Jimmy, as you do this show, God has begun a work.
Amen, amen.
And
We are not building a generation of consumers. We have to be a generation of people who are consumed by the zeal of the Father.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Form Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions